out in Marquette in 1881. What we try to instill in our students is we want them to make sure that they are taking advantage, not only of the education that they're receiving, but they're taking the opportunity to sit still for a little bit, hone in on what those natural talents are, and figure out how they're supposed to contribute those strengths, those talents to the greater good. So we look at Jesuits, we're all located in urban settings, we're not gated, that's not by accident. So at Marquette University, we're a mid-sized school. Students say they always meet new people, but they never, ever, ever feel as if they know everyone on campus. Our student-faculty ratio is 15:1, so freshman, sophomore year, you can look forward to a classroom size of about 31 or less. Junior, senior year will drop again to about 25 or less. So you get a lot of hands-on attention, you're dealing with your faculty, it's very hands-on. Now, I'm going to get off Marquette and I'm going to start talking in general terms, because my assignment tonight is to talk a little bit about what college admissions counselors pay attention to. So, for the most part, across the board, absolutely, especially when you're looking at four-year institutions, we are going to focus in on the academic rigor. We're going to pay attention to that transcript, and that transcript can be the most valuable part. Now, it's interesting being an admissions counselor because you're out there meeting students and you meet parents all the time and you work with phones. I get a lot of phone calls from people saying, my baby is number one baby, my baby is so awesome. He's got all A's, he's got perfect test score, and I just know he's going to get all the scholarships. Well, understand this. In any institution, especially when you're looking at an institution that is competitive, you have to understand the beast that you're applying to, called that college or university. Now at Marquette, a lot of students ask, what's your average ACT score? I don't like to talk average because I think you can cut down spirits and you're not gonna, really even think it's a possibility. But as a parent, your job is to get in tune with your star player. Now, I meet parents all the time that act like they haven't seen their students' transcript in a couple of semesters. Has this happened to you? Okay, so when I say get in tune with your star player, you have to understand and get up close and personal with that transcript. It's yours. You did it, we didn't do it, it's yours. So embrace it, love it. If you've made mistakes, forgive yourself. But understand that as an institution, every institution has that line. Now at Marquette, we're private, but we also offer direct admissions. So that can mean everything. When you're applying, you might get denied at Marquette because you don't play the game with them. For example, I read nothing but nursing apps at Marquette because we are assigned by college. It's great because you get to stay in the zone. But at Marquette, if you have a C- or below in chemistry or biology, it's an automatic denial for nursing. What do you want to do? What do you want to know that before you put your student through that? These are questions that you can get answered if you simply make a phone call, make a contact with the counselor coming to your school, or simply look on our websites. You have to look at what's the average profile of a student getting admitted to that school. And you need to pick majors based off of who you are right now. Not who you want to be with additional preparation and discipline, because by the time you're a senior, if you haven't found that preparation and discipline, okay, all I have to work with is what you show on paper for freshman, sophomore, and junior year. Now, if you have yet to reach your full potential by the time it's time for you to apply, I cannot make a decision based off of promises. Make sense? So when we are reading, here's what I want to do. I want to look at your academic transcript by far. I'm looking for rigor. I want to see preparation. So at our institution, if you have a 4.0, that's awesome. But if your 4.0 is padded, I see some people looking. Dart throwing, bowling, underwater basket weaving, all these things will be taken into account when we make our final decision and when we start dishing out scholarships. So a student that's taking a rigor, parents are going to love this. If you are taking IB curriculums, advanced placement courses, you're taking dual credit somewhere, your GPA, we expect is going to be a little more challenging, so we don't expect perfection. Our message is preparation, not perfection. Now, welcome to our world. If you want me to look at a B+ like it's almost an A C- is almost a D. Right? Right? So, we want to see you take the rigor, but we don't want to see you overwhelm yourself in the semester so bad that it's going to show up as a poor performance. So we want you to stay in your lane, but know if you're going to take on more competitive courses. Take on ownership of it and make sure that you have the support around you to successfully pass that class. It means nothing if you have a lot of AP and you got C minuses and D's in it. After we're looking at that transcript, we will look at your test score. Now, I look at a test score as simply a predictor. It doesn't tell me everything. However, when you're applying to schools that are more competitive and provide direct admissions, which means you get to start in that major as a freshman. So direct admissions at Marquette, if you say business, you're taking business curriculum as a freshman. So in order for me to make that decision, please know there's a method behind our math. I am going to pay more attention to your math curriculum, and I'm a stickler, so I'm looking at your English as well. And now your math and English some scores are going to come into play. If I'm looking at you for engineering, I'm paying attention to math and science curriculum as well as math and science sub-scores. Same thing with health sciences, same thing with nursing. There is a method to our maths. Now, if you say your student has high hopes and they maybe want to get into something like engineering or maybe health sciences, they want to go biomedical sciences or pre-med. The reality is, I think by far, at a lot of campuses, a lot of students are looking for pre-med, dentistry, firm, vet. I ask students all the time, why do they think that is? I hear people say, there's a nursing shortage, there's stability, there's income. What it really is Grey's Anatomy and Scrubs and Hawthorne and House. How do we figure it out? Because they tell us in their college essay. I want my doctor and nurse to be more concerned about research and science, not what Big Dreamy and Big Steamy are doing in the break room. So again, matching up who you are on the inside, what you love, up against those different fields that you want to approach. It shouldn't be just, oh, I should do athletic training because I'm a jump. Well, if your math and sciences are right, you're going to get denied. So you need to make sure that not only are you looking at the transcript and the test scores, but you are looking at your students, their past experience with clubs, organizations they've joined, and see if they match up to that school choice that they've picked. And I believe in testing the waters. No one school is the perfect fit for every student. And understand this, if it's not a great academic fit, social fit, financial fit, you are setting yourself up for failure. So make sure that you're making a decision that you are comfortable with, but parents, the students have to be comfortable too. Because if they do it for you, they won't do it with. And why would you pay for mediocrity? I too have a senior at home. So I'm with you. So my plan is this. Work with them on this. Make sure that the preparation is there so you can go after this strategically. Make sure you're lining up schools that fit your star player. If you know your student thrives better in a smaller classroom setting, you have made some key decisions as to what schools they should be applying to versus not. You should not be chasing t-shirts. So please know, Dwayne Wade is not hanging underneath my table banner out in the hallway. I get a lot of students that think that. At a private institution, look at the majors that are available. Look at the social opportunity, the environment. What can you be? Who can you be? What can you have accessible to you once you're at the institution? These things matter, and if you don't take them into account, you're going to find yourself in trouble. Now, I want to transition into the essay. We've talked about academics, but we also like to look at college essays as a way for you to tell me something that your transcript and your test scores don't. Now, parents, I got to tell you this year, I read some really strange stuff. Did you all? I got one to tell you about for the grown-ups, ladies. Please know, if you tell me you are crazy, I will believe you. If you tell me you like fire and you want to live in a residence hall, that could be a problem. If you tell me you don't like people, I've got 12,000 of those. That could be an issue for you. But your essay is an opportunity to speak. And I'll be honest, I know a lot of students say, well, wow, that graded paper on the good earth is going to be awesome. That scarlet letter paper, we had to read it too. I don't want to read another paper on the scarlet letter or the good earth or To Kill a Mockingbird or Frankenstein or Beowulf. I always got kicked out over Beowulf and bring up baggage, people. Write personal statement. I would much rather see who you are, what you're up against, why my institution. How about you read my materials and use that language against me? Your job is to make every school feel like your number one choice, because if you make me feel that way, I'm going to work harder for you. Make sense? So with the essay, have fun, but not too much fun. Because if you say things that are alarming or strange or concerning, we will follow up, and a decision can't go left or right based off what you say. And this year, by far, I've been put in that situation more often than I would ever like to admit to. And the honesty is this: we're not just screening your students for their academic ability and promise. I am screening for character. And I will not sign off on crazy. If I think you need a little quality time with a counsel, a leather couch, and a candle, we will make recommendations. But at the end of the day, you want us to screen, don't you? So make sure your student is not showing way too much personality to the point we might have concern or feel as if maybe they wouldn't make the right fit on our campus. Now, as a Jesuit, because service and leadership is huge for us, we want to see your activities. We are oftentimes blown away that students are able to get away with being involved in everything under the sun and still be able to perform academically. We see students all the time missing out on money because students are accustomed to taking the easy way out, and they love to text. You cannot text your college essay. You cannot text your activities. It doesn't make sense. This year, I saw a lot of TTYL all over applications. I didn't know what it was. I thought it was a typing error or a transmission error. My daughter told me it was TTYL, talk to you later. Not cool. You cannot use text language. You can't LOL us. You can't TTYL us and expect us to take you seriously. Even if you're just casually emailing us. Like we said earlier, you said it. If your student is communicating with you, if it's email, if it's by fax, I'm saving that, I'm tracking that. And if it looks like foolishness, shame on you. When it comes to your service and leadership, by far, you have to give us more detail. So I want to know what clubs or organizations you were involved in, but I also want to know if you had leadership roles. Were you president, vice president, secretary, treasurer, flag holder, water boy? Tell me what you do. If you did community service and you have 20 pages listing all the great acts and places you've committed service to, it means nothing if I can't count the hours. So for each institution is different. Never assume that one school's protocol will reflect the next school's protocol, but we're all behind the door. We're all just a click away. We're all just a phone call away. And at the end of the day, we are not your enemies. We're your advocates. We did not sign up for this and go to work saying, wow, let's see how many I can deny today to get my day going well. We are in this to give away the gift of education. So we say, show up in the process. Because even if you're chasing scholarship, a great scholarship essay won't simply say, I need the money. I'm a parent, I need it too. I need you to go deeper than that. So with your essays, use it as an opportunity to speak to us. Now on the flip of all of that, there's the academic profile that we get, but then there's also one more thing that's out there that's not technically part of the process. You all are involved in social media, right? I mean, Facebook users. Don't be ashamed. Come on there. We are too. So if your student is out there and has a dual personality, an alter ego, and they look like a goofball or angry, or they're doing crazy things, or the language is wrong, you better get out there and clean it up. Facebook is real, and if you self-report it, I absolutely will not allow you to win my full tuition scholarship if you out there looking like a goofball online. So just know this, if you put it out there, it's fair game. So if you got weird email addresses, clean it up. How about first name, last name at yourschool.com or yahoo.com. If you want some flair, loves to read books, or shout us out, Marquette 2014 at yahoo.com. But the craziness, the things that are too, I saw a sexy fur kit in 2013. No one wants a sexy fur kit in their university. So make sure that you are not only accounting for the academic side, but also the social side. Thank you guys, and I'll see you at the